So now I'm going to just jump back into history a little bit and talk about this new project of mine that's underway called American Paradise. And American Paradise is a new project that reframes the history of the Hudson River School to give visibility to the many women that might surprise some people who are quite familiar with the artists associated with the Hudson River School, but to give visibility to several women who were affiliated with this iconic movement historically associated with men. I'll just say that the history of the Hudson River School is flawed in many ways, not just for the exclusion of women, but also for its misrepresentation of America, Indigenous people, and the environment at the time, which was already being industrialized and deforested. And the title of the project, American Paradise, I'm invoking it critically because it takes its name from American Paradise, The World of the Hudson River School. And the convenient thing about being in my studio is I can show you the book right here. And this was an exhibition catalog published in 1987 by the Met. And, it purports to be this really kind of comprehensive survey of the world of the Hudson River School. But it perpetuates this mythology of the movement being founded by and exclusively comprised of men. So this is Thomas Cole's Catskill Mountain House, and he made this towards the end of his life. Thomas Cole was considered, and I'm going to not use air quotes, but just say in quotes, considered the founding father of the Hudson River School. And, it's dated, its sort of starting point is 1825. However, as early as 1818, so 7 years before its founding, women were painting scenes of the Hudson, River and the Catskills and beyond, in styles ascribed to the Hudson River School and to Cole and Asher Duran in particular, who was the other ostensible founding father. So this painting was made by Thomas Cole's sister, Sarah. So Sarah is one of several women, along with Louisa Davis Minot, and many, Harriet Canny Peel, and many, many others, Susie Barstow, who hiked and painted alongside and also apart from these men. So this is Sarah's copy of her brother's painting, and she made it, I think it was right after he died. And the title is slightly different. I think his was Catskill Mountain House. And this is a view of the Catskill Mountain House. And so Sarah was very successful, not unlike Lilla Cabot Perry, a very successful painter. She maintained a studio in New York City and wrote extensively about her travels up the Hudson on her own, on steamships to, hike and paint. And, not only is that story excluded from American Paradise, the survey book, but only a handful of her paintings remain today. And most of those are copies. I think there's only 5 or 6, and most of those are copies of her brother's paintings. I just want to make a note about, on the back of her canvas, it's inscribed, "A view of the Catskill Mountain House / copied from a picture by T. Cole by S. Cole, 1848." And Sarah Cole signed her paintings S. Cole, just using her first initial, like many of the other women painters during that time, as a way to, conceal her gender. So while I was doing my research for this project, I came across Maria Turner's The Young Lady's Assistant in Painting and Drawing, which was published in 1833. And this is an excerpt from the chapter on oil painting. And I'll just read you the one line that's really important. And it reads, I would advise you to copy some good oil paintings before you attempt to compose your own subjects. So this is advice for, young women, amateur painters, hobbyists. They're never going to become serious artists. And then by imitating the coloring of these, you will soon become accustomed to incorporate the tints properly. So, I was taking this cue from um, Maria Turner's book and decided to make a series of paintings as copies of paintings created by some of the women who've been omitted from the history of the Hudson River School. And this is the first painting in a series that will give visibility and value to works created by these women. This is a view of the Catskill Mountain House, copied from a picture by S. Cole, copied from a picture by T. Cole, 1848. So it takes its title from that inscription that I read to you earlier. It's a slight variation. It's like one more addition of the word copy. And also like Thomas Cole and Sarah Cole's painting, this is around 15 by 23 inches. And it's also oil on canvas. So every painting in this series will be the same size and facture as their original counterparts. Um, Only unlike Sarah's copy, in my version, the copy is in progress, and the true copy is this ostensible reference material painted in trompe l'oeil. So I'll just show you a detail of that part of the painting. And this source material was taken from Google Arts and Culture, and I like how it sort of situates it in time, and also talks about the way that images and history and information is shared. All the reference material, though, for these paintings will be from different sources. Just one more detail there. And ultimately, what I hope this painting and the rest of the paintings in the project does is make visible the act of historical recovery, and having this unfinished part of the painting acknowledge that that act is always in progress and really never finished.